Do you remember when you were little? What was it like? Do you remember the park? Who did you play with? Maybe you were fearless, climbing up the slide instead of sliding down. I'm sure you remember that. But every memory is different. Maybe you remember feeling alone, feeling unwanted, like you just didn't belong. However you felt, your memories can't be erased. You need them. They're the very things that stir your emotions. We can remember the times we needed courage to face our fears, or when we got lost and needed guidance to find our way. But there is one need that we must have more than anything, and sometimes we're willing to do anything just to have it.
One of our drum majors can't breathe if he's throwing up.
From the moment we open our eyes, we experience community. We learn how to interact by joining groups and make friends in the process. But our sight can be limited. Not everyone fits in.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I belonged here. I don't feel like one of the, one among many here at FSU. Because I don't know. Maybe I just don't. I'm not like, I have a different past than most of the people that go here. I have a lot bigger story.
Amy wanted to fit in. She just didn't know how.
Well, I dropped out of high school when I was 16, and basically just tested out. And I mean, I was really bright. I'd been in the IB program, and I just didn't feel like doing it anymore. You know, I was in that stage where I just wanted to party, and I had this crazy boyfriend, this crazy group of friends that partied really, really, really hard. So I had no reason to be in school.
From schools to organizations, we are constantly trying to find our place, even if it's something we've never experienced.
All I used to do was play basketball. All the way throughout high school. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't even know about this fraternity, sorority stuff until I got to college. And my second year of college, actually, my freshman year, all I did was play basketball too. So I didn't know anything about it. I had no dreams of doing it. Nobody in my family was doing it. You know, it wasn't in my area. I didn't come up around it. I never even heard of it. I saw it in movies, but I didn't really pay no attention to it.
We just went really off the deep edge. Like, we were always high, on something. Always. We stayed in a friend of ours' house for 2 weeks, just being wasted the whole time, And looking back on it, I was like, oh my God, that's awful.
Feelings are constantly changing, just like needs. We don't just want to join things, we need to.
So my first thing to do was find somebody I knew that was a Sigma. And the only person I knew that was a Sigma was somebody else that was in Boys of Poison as well. So I approached him and I asked him, what do I have to do to get down, Like trying to be low key, but because that's all I knew about fraternities at the time, was they're secret. And you're not supposed to let everybody know you want to do it. So I was like, oh, shoot, man, what I got to do to get down? Just trying to keep it a little on the low.
I mean, in the very beginning, I did have a really deep sense of belonging with them, and that was awesome. And I guess that's what everybody wants, I mean, later on, it kind of became apparent that that there wasn't a belonging. The only thing holding us together was our own sickness.
So I meet other people that want to do the same thing as me, and that's what made me decide, oh man, this is what I want to do. This is the team, and we're gonna become a team. We all have this dream of one, becoming Sigmas, and then we're going to have this dream of, you know, uplifting Sigma, make it a better thing on the campus, like portray it well, you know, represent well, you know, through step-in service, whatever we got to do. So it's just, that's when I really found out I wanted to do it.
We want to belong because it gives us purpose, value. It makes us feel accepted. It can shape us without us ever knowing. But sometimes it can lead us to places we thought we'd never go.
I actually became a Wiccan. I was 11 years old and I was like practicing witchcraft, like out of rebellion. I did not like it. And I had one friend there, and we were both kind of on the outskirts, you know, because we were like witches at a Christian school. You know, I wanted just to be a normal person, you know, I wanted people to accept me. I wanted to, you know, I wanted to have a bunch of friends, I guess, you know.
This need to belong is quiet, but convincing. It tells us we need friends. It pressures us into joining things. And sometimes it toys with our emotions.
The pressure, like being like one of the first people from my high school, and like basically these upperclassmen saying that, hey, we want you gone, hey, you're not gonna make it, just quit now. Like, I guess that was kind of like motivation.
I sometimes was embarrassed about who I was. I mean, I always knew who I was, and I always accepted it, but I worried that other people wouldn't accept who I was, you know.
Even if I didn't join it, I would have found something else, but I probably wouldn't have got anything. I don't know. It was my first tattoo as well. It's like, it just brought me, I don't know how to explain.
Fitting in isn't always free, and someone has to pay the price. However, is it worth it?
It's stressful times because sometimes you take on more responsibility. Like, that's my problem. Sometimes I try to push myself too much, and then I'm hard on myself at the end of the day. So sometimes you just kind of take on too much, but that's with anything. It's nothing. The fraternity itself never really like came down on me and made me like regret it or put me through anything that I couldn't handle.
But there's a different type of physical pain. Another pain that many consider a form of hazing. This pain can mark you for life.
I hear stories of fraternities branding, and like that's another thing I knew. Like I knew people got branded, and it's like it's not only fraternities that do it. People don't realize it's not just a fraternity thing. It's a thing called scarification.
And sometimes we need to fit in, regardless of the cost.
It happened. It did. I'm not gonna lie and say it didn't, but it did happen. Shirt torn and bleeding, a couple of bruised ribs. She ended up in the hospital.
Hazing it's too dangerous for me, honestly, because especially it's too easy to take that kind of thing out of hand. Like, it's different levels of this stuff, but it's like some people obviously take it out of hand. You know, I don't even need to bring it up, but you know what I'm talking about. Some people take it out of hand, and certain things happen. So, you know, it's never necessary. Like, it's never 100% necessary. Nobody should feel like they have to do that to somebody to get them to join, and nobody should feel like they have to go through that to join, you know?
How many times I got hit? I want to say too many. And sometimes it was even like done at games and stuff, like homecoming, like, so it wasn't like one situation where I just like one night that we went and like, or whatever. No, it was like multiple. Punching, kicking, paddles, like everything. Like everything.
Even if hazing is involved, sometimes the idea of hazing presents a challenge. Challenges that often have unexpected consequences.
Basically, you're just getting hit for a few minutes, like just getting hit. And at that time, like I was big into piercings or whatever, and I just got my belly button pierced, and I guess from being dragged on the floor, it got like caught in like something and it got ripped out, and I had a bad infection from that or whatever. And it was just like, that was just crazy, like pandemonium, like crazy.
We know we need to fit in, but how far are you willing to go before it's too late?
911, what is your emergency?
Hey, we are on, we are at the, what's this shit, this hotel, the Robin Plaza, on our drive. And one of our drum majors can't breathe, and he's throwing up. Right. His eyes are open, he's not responding.
Okay, but is he breathing?
I have no idea. I cannot tell you that. He just threw up.
He just threw up?
Yes.
Okay, well, like I said, I do already have help on the way. I want was he like shaking or anything like that prior?
No, he wasn't shaking. I don't even know how he was. He was just sitting there, we were just talking, and next thing you know, he was shaking and not doing anything.
Okay, and you're right by him now?
He's in my hands, man. He's cold. He's in my hands.
Okay, well, I want you to lay him flat on his back and remove anything from under his head, okay?
Okay, I'm gonna try. He's heavy.
Okay, I understand. Just try to do your best, okay?
All right.
Robert Champion was a part of the Marching 100. He was willing to submit himself to hazing to the point of death.
I think he was in pretty good condition. He ate and trained and no medical condition that I know of.
It needs to stop, and the whole purpose is to try to put it out there to let people know that you have to make a change.
He actually got on the bus and decided to partake in the process.
Maybe he was searching for the inherent need, belonging.
You should never feel so lonely to the point you gotta, subject yourself to stuff you don't feel like going through to be a part of something.
After the classic, when I came in, which was in 2007, one of the, as we were in the hotel, just chilling, whatever, one of the upperclassmen, actually came from Bussy. And to see how jacked up he was, I was like, that's something, no, he was jacked up. It was not worth it on those levels.
I guess I realized that it wasn't going to come from anywhere else. It was going to have to come from here. And I needed to, try to be as happy as possible. But I don't know, I guess I just had a realization that I couldn't get it from other people. And I needed to do what I wanted to do and stop worrying about what other people thought.
Or just do it just to be accepted, basically. Do it because you have a reason behind why you want to do it.
I didn't want to seem like that quitter girl, because they were really trying to get me to quit, leave, and I was like, no, I'm going to finish or whatever. So it wasn't really forced. I just felt like I had to do it. I had no choice.
We desire friendship because we feel a need to belong. But is belonging worth risking your life?